November 13th, we're talking all things NFL, starting with a little Thursday night football reaction. The Indianapolis Colts 34, Tennessee Titans 17. We're tied atop the AFC South once again. Seth, your reactions to Thursday night football. How hard could it be in this AFC South to win the division?
Well, I'm super surprised the way that the Colts played pass defense. I know that they do rank highly in a lot of different pass defense categories and just defense in general. But I think, talking to a lot of people, I thought that their ideas were right in the sense that they play a lot of zone. And it's like, well, when you're going to go play against a great passing attack, and maybe the Titans aren't a great passing attack, they have a lot of pieces there that can make a lot of plays. And you thought, well, Tannehill's been great, the last couple of seasons. So, you just can't just play zone against great teams. And they were able to shut them down completely. I mean, like, what did A.J. Brown do after that first catch and run? Corey Davis was like, okay. So I was like shocked. I mean, I know they're a good team, but even the narrative last night was, well, they haven't played anyone yet. Well, now they have played the Titans, shut them down. Really, this could have been a blowout if they hit it that 4th and 1 earlier in the game. They might even blow them out by even more than 17 points. So this is just exciting. I think if you're a Colts fan, and also look, Philip Rivers is going to play like this. He will accidentally throw the ball to a linebacker or a safety underneath by accident. Sometimes that's what he does. But then you also get this veteran guy who's making reads all the time, making accurate throws, and they're going to be tough to beat if this is how good the defense is, and if Philip Rivers stops making boneheaded plays, wow, they're going to be really tough to beat.
Yeah, I mean, he's leading them to an efficient passing offense, something they did not have at all whatsoever with Jacoby Brissett. But, there's a lot of takeaways. I hadn't missed one, but I think my biggest one is that the Indianapolis Colts have the smartest front office and coaching staff in the entire NFL. And there's no debate about that. I mean, they're listening to their analytics guys, George Lee and John Park, up in the booth. Frank Reich loves those guys. Some of these coaches are like, no, I'm not going for a 4th down. Take the points. Went forward on 4th down 5 times. I mean, granted, those drives didn't really work out in the end, but they ultimately won the game. Butterfly effect. I love it. I love the move there. Also, DeForest Buckner, he had a monster game, elite pass rush grade above 90.0. Still don't think it was a good decision to trade that pick and then pay him, Aaron Donald-like money, because he's not an Aaron Donald-like player, but still got to give credit where credit's due because he absolutely obliterated the Titans guards.
Yeah, some good points there. Buckner, man, he hit Tannehill a couple times really hard, and I think that did have a lingering effect on Tannehill's ability to make some plays. I look at it from the Colts' perspective, though, and this season they have gone as Philip Rivers has gone. Yes, 4th down decisions were great. Yes, the defense played really well, also aided by an A.J. Brown drop that probably would have been a 70-yarder. But when Philip Rivers has played well, the Colts have won games. He's got 3 games grading under 60 and some of them in the 30s. So those games, not so great for the Colts. But when he's graded at 75 or above, or 70 or above, he was in that range last night, they've won. And so when Rivers plays that efficient football, they play efficient football as a team, the Colts. And the big thing for Rivers coming from the Los Angeles Chargers is his ability to play from a clean pocket finally. 6 times was he pressured against the Titans on 40 dropbacks. So you have a good offensive line, Philip Rivers in a clean pocket. The few games where the Ravens got to him and the Browns got to him a little bit, it was ugly. But if you keep Rivers clean, he can run an efficient offense, as you guys said. All right, PFF.com. This week, we had our Midseason All-Pro Team. The All-Pro Team is the best player at each position, the second best player at each position. There's always some surprises, especially through 9 weeks. Seth, biggest surprise for this week's PFF Midseason All-Pro Team?
I'll go with Denver Broncos tackle Garrett Bowles because we knew that the skill was there from when he was drafted. We knew that this was probably, his 1st round pick. We knew he was probably going to be a good player. But then, the penalties just hurt him so much. 19 penalties, 14 penalties, 18 penalties each of the last 3 years, his first 3 seasons in the league. But he could play, though. We knew he could play, but that's going to kill you if you're putting your team, 10 yards back every play, or not every play, but many plays. This year, 5 penalties. He might not even get to double digits this year. And now you're starting to see a real player emerge, and I think that's why he's on our first team, offensive line. 90 plus passing grade, 85 plus run blocking grade. He's finally getting rid of the mistakes, and you're seeing like the real Garrett Bowles, I think.
I think Garrett owes the league a little bit of money because they stopped calling holding this year. He's had 15 to 17 penalties per year. All of a sudden, he's a star once they stopped calling those holding penalties.
Yeah, that is a very good point. But for me, it's on the defensive side of the ball. Just imagine a year ago from this time, you would say in 2020 midseason All-Pro team, first team cornerback Jason Verrett, second team Xavier Rhodes. All three of us would have said you're absolutely crazy. There's no possible way that's happening, but here we are. Xavier Rhodes, last night, goose egg in the yards allowed column, had a nice pass breakup in there too. Overall, 9 combined pass breakups and interceptions, just 18 catches allowed this season. Granted, when he is allowing a catch, they're typically a big play, but compared to last year, he made the Pro Bowl, sure, but he gave up a triple-digit passer rating, one of the lowest graded quarterbacks in coverage. And then Jason Verrett, too, with all of those injuries, we saw what he could do early on in his career, and finally, he's healthy, he's putting it together, and he made that first-team midseason All-Pro team. So I think it's bananas that these two made it. Never would have thought it, but here we are, and I'm happy they are.
Yeah, those are some great picks. I want to highlight some rookies on the offensive side of the ball. You've got Michael Onwenu, the guard/tackle for the New England Patriots, and then Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. Onwenu, this guy deserves so much credit for what he's done. A 6th-round pick who has started at left guard, at right guard, and now over the last few weeks at right tackle, one of the highest graded offensive linemen in the entire league. He's been incredible in the run game, solid in pass protection. First off, just doing it as a 6th-round pick is great, but as a rookie moving around at all of those positions, absolutely incredible season. It's not great for the Patriots that the highlight of their season is a rookie guard/tackle, but doesn't matter. The guy's made All-Pro, so credit to him. And then Justin Jefferson, it's not like the league is lacking wide receiver talent. So for Justin Jefferson to come in as midseason All-Pro second team in that top 4, and what he's added to the Vikings offense, he had to essentially replace Stephon Diggs, and he's done that with his route running, with his ball skills. We saw him catch 12 out of 13 contested catches last year at LSU. He's doing the same thing at the NFL level. So his route running, contested catch ability has been great, but he's doing it as an outside receiver. And that was the big question mark for Justin Jefferson coming in. He was a slot receiver at LSU. He's transitioned nicely at the NFL level. We knew he was good, but maybe not All-Pro good so far. And then let's wrap it up with some bounce-back candidates. Guys maybe had a slow start or maybe that are just going to break out here in the second half of the season, Seth.
I'm going to pause for 3 seconds so people can take a guess who I'm going to say, because it's very obvious. The bounce-back candidate, of course, is going to be Drew Brees, because we saw him struggle early in the year. I wrote the article after the Packers game, or maybe after the Raiders game. All of a sudden, Drew Brees wasn't that accurate, missing throws underneath, and then miscommunications with the receivers, and then obviously you can't get any big plays because you're not throwing the ball down the field, and you're relying on that 10 to 19 yard range, and it wasn't there early in the season for the Saints. Now, they have an easy schedule going forward. They have Kansas City later in the season, but until then, it's not a lot of winning teams. Michael Thomas is back. Emmanuel Sanders is back. Alvin Kamara keeps playing like the best running back in the league. He's, Brees is right now in the 75 grade range. He's about our 12th highest graded quarterback. He will be, for the second half of the season, will be a 90+ grade quarterback, because all those pieces are back. The schedule is easy. He'll have those throws. He has been lights out in that 10 to 19 yard range again, like he's been the past few seasons. Absolutely killed the Buccaneers in that range. That's the guy. They're gonna be a team to beat, and they might get home field advantage in the NFC.
Wow, I hope he does bounce back, because I would like to see him end his career with a bang here. But I'm going to tweak this one a little bit. Not necessarily a breakout guy or bounce back guy. It's a little bit more of a breakout. And I'm going with Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I know people are watching this thinking, Anthony, what are you talking about? You're an idiot. He's producing at an MVP level. No, he is not. He is not producing at an MVP level, because he's making too many mistakes when he's, outside of the pocket, whether it's a boot or he's trying to create off structure. He plays with fire out there. I don't like it. And you can look at his PFF grade. In those situations, it's second to last. But when he is inside the pocket, in rhythm, going to his guy, DeAndre Hopkins, he is the 5th highest graded passer in the NFL. The Arizona Cardinals have the 4th most efficient passing offense on those plays. I think that is a more stable area. I think we're going to see that MVP level Kyler Murray in the season's second half. And I think, I don't know, the Arizona Cardinals are going to be a dangerous team. I almost threw out a really hot take there, but I think they're going to be a sneaky, dangerous team come playoff time.
You're just going to put them in the Super Bowl. Just do it, man. You could do it.
Fine, I'm going to say, all right, Arizona Cardinals are going to the championship game, NFC championship game. It's anyone's game this season. It's 2020. Anything can happen. Jason Verrett, Xavier Rhodes, Midseason All-Pro Team, Arizona Cardinals. Wow. Championship game.
The
Cardinals
NFC with
Saints.
The Saints, the Bucks, the Packers, the Seahawks, and you're calling the Cardinals in the championship game.
You made him call the Cardinals, and then you're going to roast him.
You did.
Well, yeah,
that is perfect. That's perfect.
I like it. I'm going to stick with quarterbacks in an NFC quarterback. It's Carson Wentz, and he's going to bounce back just because it's been so bad in the first half. He's got 10 more turnover-worthy plays than anyone else, and he just had his bye, so he didn't throw any last week. That was great. But Wentz, I think he's in more of a slump. His first 3 games especially. It's more of a slump. That'll be much better during the second half of the season, especially if that offense can just get a little healthier. He hasn't been playing with first-team Eagles for over a year. So at some point, I think Wentz gets a little bit better. The rest of the offense gets a little bit better. And that horrible NFC East, I think, becomes the Eagles' division as Wentz bounces back here in the second half of the season.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.